You didn't see it coming. One day they were there. The next, they were gone. Maybe they walked away. Maybe you had to leave. Maybe life just changed. But one thing remains true. It hurts. Losing someone you thought would stay leaves a deep wound, one that doesn't heal overnight. You keep asking, why did this happen? What did I do wrong? Could I have done something to change this? Every moment replays in your mind, every word, every red flag you ignored. And the hardest part, the silence, the unanswered questions, the feeling of abandonment. It's like a storm raging in your soul, and you're left to weather it alone. But listen to me. You are not alone. And today, we're going to unpack this pain, because this wasn't just a random event. This was divine intervention. Why does it hurt so much? When someone leaves, it feels like a piece of you is missing. Your heart clings to something that's no longer there. Whether it's a friend, a partner, or family, the pain is real, deep, and overwhelming. It's like they took part of you with them. But here's the truth. God sees your pain. He understands what they meant to you, and He isn't ignoring your tears. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. This pain doesn't mean you're broken beyond repair. Your heart will heal, but first, you need to understand, when God removes someone, He's not just taking something away, He's making room for something greater. Some people drift away slowly. You feel the distance, see the signs, and know the end is near. But others, they're gone in an instant, and that sudden loss, it's a different kind of pain. You're left with questions. Did I mean nothing to them? Did they ever care? How could they leave so easily? In these moments, the enemy whispers lies. You weren't enough. You're unlovable. You'll never find someone who stays. But these are points of lies. People don't leave because you're not enough. They leave because they were never meant to stay. When God removes someone, it's because He saw something you couldn't. He's protecting you from what you don't yet understand. Not everyone is sent by God. Let's be honest, not everyone in your life is a blessing. Some are lessons, some are distractions, others are only meant to stay for a season. But we try to hold on, forcing them to fit into our story. When you cling to someone God is trying to remove, you're only inviting more pain. Some people cannot go where God is taking you. He separates you not to hurt you, but to protect you. God always has a reason. You might not understand it now, but there's always a reason. Maybe their presence was blocking your blessing. Maybe their influence was pulling you away from God. Or maybe their intentions were never pure. God sees what you cannot. For He knows the plans He has for you, declares God. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. If they were meant to stay, they would have. If they were good for you, God would have allowed them to remain. Trust that He knows what He's doing, even when it hurts. Stop reopening the wound. You cannot heal if you keep reopening the wound. Stop stalking their social media. Stop rereading old messages. Stop holding on to things that remind you of them. Healing begins when you release what God has already removed. If God said, "Let them go," trust that He has something better ahead. This is not the end. Right now, it feels like the end. Your heart is heavy, and the pain feels unbearable. But listen, God never takes without the intention to replace. This is not the end of your story. It's the start of something new. Like this video, if you're ready to heal, you keep asking, why did God let this happen? The truth is, God never removes someone without a reason. What feels like rejection to you is often redirection from Him. He sees what you can't, and He moves in ways that protect you, even when it's painful. God sees what you can't. You only see what's in front of you, but God sees the bigger picture. He knows the intentions of every heart. That person you thought you needed? Maybe their presence would have harmed you. Maybe they were a distraction, pulling you away from the purpose God has for your life. God removes people not because you're being punished, but because He's protecting you. He sees what they said behind your back, the ways they could have hurt you, and the path they would have led you down. When someone's intentions aren't pure, God steps in to shield you from harm. God is preparing you for your destiny. Sometimes, holding on to the wrong people delays your journey. God has a plan for your life, a future filled with purpose and hope, but not everyone is meant to walk that path with you. When God separates you from someone, He's making room for the right people to enter, those who align with your destiny, those who lift you closer to Him. Separation is preparation. You can't grow in the wrong environment. Think about a plant trying to grow in bad soil. It's impossible for it to thrive. The same is true for you. God knows that some people, no matter how much you care about them, can't provide the environment you need to grow. So He uproots you and places you where you can flourish. Letting go isn't easy, but trust that God's plans are greater than your attachments. He doesn't remove people to harm you. He does it to ensure you're planted in the right place, with the right relationships. Trust His timing. God's timing is perfect, even when it doesn't match your expectations. Maybe you've been praying for clarity. Maybe you asked Him to guide your steps. Removing someone might be His answer to those prayers. It's not rejection, it's redirection. There is a time for everything and a season for every activity. Under the heavens, every person has a season in your life. Some are there to teach you, others to walk with you for a time, and a few are meant to stay forever. When their season ends, it's not a mistake, it's God's design. What you need to do, instead of asking, why did they leave? Start asking, what is God teaching me through this? Stop clinging to what God is trying to remove. Trust His plan, even when it's hard to understand. Let go and let God move. The sooner you release what no longer serves you, the sooner you'll step into the blessings God has prepared for you. Trust that God's plan is better than your own. If He removed someone, it's because He's protecting, preparing, and positioning you for what's next. If you believe you deserve it all, comment below, I trust God's plan. Sometimes, life takes a turn you didn't expect. A door closes, and you're left wondering why. You feel rejected, abandoned, and confused. But what if I told you that closed door was God's protection? Rejection is protection. You prayed for God to lead your life, and when He answered by closing a door, it felt like betrayal. But God doesn't close doors to punish you. He does it to protect you. He sees the things you don't, the hidden motives, the heartbreak ahead, the traps the enemy has set. When a door closes, it's not the end of your story. It's God saying, you deserve better. Trust Him enough to stop banging on doors He has already shut. Your detour isn't a dead end. It's preparation for the destiny God has for you. Trust that every closed door is moving you closer to God's perfect plan. Signs. Someone was never meant to stay. Not everyone who enters your life is meant to stay. Here are some signs that someone may have only been in your life for a season. They drain your energy instead of filling it. They pull you away from your faith and purpose. Their presence brings more confusion than clarity. You'd find yourself compromising your values to keep them. God sometimes allows people into your life to teach you lessons, not to stay forever. Clinging to them only delays the blessings He has prepared. God removes to make room. If your hands are full of what isn't meant for you, how can you receive what God has prepared? When He removes someone, it's not to leave you empty. It's to create space for what's truly meant for you. Stop focusing on what you've lost and start preparing for what's coming. What to do when the door closes. Instead of questioning God, surrender to His will. Pray for clarity. Surround yourself with His word. Seek His voice. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your paths straight. And remember, closed doors lead to better ones. When you trust God, you'll find that the next door He opens will lead to something far greater than what you've left behind. God's plan is always better than your own. Every closed door is a step towards something greater. If someone left your life, trust that their time was up, and God is preparing you for what's next. There comes a point when holding on starts doing more harm than good. You're clinging to something God has already asked you to release, and it's blocking the blessings He has in store for you. Holding on creates delays. Imagine trying to move forward while dragging a heavy weight behind you. That's what happens when you refuse to let go of someone God has removed. They're no longer part of your future, but you're still stuck in the past. By holding on, you're delaying your destiny. God can't release the new until you've let go of the old. How to heal and let go. Healing begins when you surrender. It's not easy, but it's necessary. Start by praying for peace. Ask God to help you release the pain and trust His plan. Focusing on God's promises. Shift your attention from what you've lost to what God is preparing. Setting boundaries. Stop revisiting the past. Delete old messages. Stop checking their social media. Protect your peace. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting. It means trusting that God's plan is better than anything you're leaving behind. Trust the process. Healing takes time, but with every step, you're moving closer to the purpose God has for you. The pain won't last forever. Keep praying, keep trusting, keep moving forward. If you believe and want God in your life. Comment below, I'm ready to let go. There are seasons when it feels like you're all alone. People leave, doors close, and you're left wondering why God has put you in isolation. But what if I told you? Your isolation is not punishment, it's preparation. Why isolation comes before breakthrough. God often uses isolation to refine you. It's in the quiet, lonely moments that you grow closer to Him. When distractions are removed, you can finally hear His voice clearly. Isolation prepares your heart. It strengthens your faith. It helps you focus on God's plan without the noise of the world. Remember, before God elevated Joseph, David, and even Jesus, they all went through seasons of isolation, making space for God-ordained relationships. When God removes people from your life, it's because He's preparing to send better ones. These new relationships will align with His purpose for you. But first, you need to make space. Let go of unhealthy attachments. Focus on becoming the person God created you to be. The right people will come into your life at the right time, and they will bring clarity, not confusion. Trust God's timing. In isolation, it's easy to feel forgotten. But remember, God's timing is perfect. Your season of waiting is preparing you for the blessings ahead. Trust Him to bring the right people into your life at the right time. You've made it this far. The pain, the loss, the isolation. It all felt overwhelming. But look at you now. You're still standing. And what comes next? It's time to walk boldly into your next chapter. Embrace the future with faith. When God removes someone or closes a door, it's because He's leading you towards something greater. Your next chapter won't look like your last, but it will be better because it's written by Him. Walking boldly means trusting God's plan, even when you can't see the full picture. It's knowing that what lies ahead is filled with His promises, His provision, and His purpose. Stop letting fear hold you back. Fear whispers that you're not ready. It tells you to stay in your comfort zone. But remember, fear is not from God. You have the strength to move forward because God is with you. Don't let the fear of the unknown keep you tied to what God has already removed. Step out in faith, knowing He's directing your path. The best is yet to come. Your story doesn't end here. The loss, the rejection, the tears, they were chapters, not the whole book. God is still writing your story, and the best pages are yet to be written. Your next chapter is filled with hope, restoration, and joy. God's plan for your life is bigger than you can imagine. Trust Him to take you places you never thought possible. Turn your pain into purpose. God never wastes pain. Every tear, every heartbreak, every lesson, it all has a purpose. What you've been through isn't just for you. It's for others who will need your story. Your testimony will inspire, encourage, and bring hope to those who feel like giving up. Share your story. Let your journey be a light to others. God will use what you've been through to make a difference in ways you never expected. Walk in your purpose. This is your moment. Walk boldly into the destiny God has prepared for you. Let go of the past, embrace the present, and trust God with your future. You were created for more. Don't settle for less than God's best. Keep moving forward, keep trusting, and keep believing that His plan is perfect. This is not the end. This is a new beginning. God is doing something incredible in your life. If you trust Him, if you want to join God today, comment below. I am ready for my next chapter. Like this video. If you're ready to embrace God's plan, subscribe now to join us on this journey of faith, healing, and purpose. Remember, your story isn't over. The best is yet to come. But listen, God never takes without the intention to replace. The story isn't over. The best is still ahead. And in the next chapter, we're going to talk about what comes next. Because God didn't just remove them. He is preparing you for something greater. The pain is real, but God sees your broken heart. If they left, it's because they weren't meant to stay. Stop looking back. God's plan is always better. When people leave, God steps in. Some people were never meant to stay. You prayed for breakthrough, and suddenly people started walking your way. You asked God to bring you closer to Him, and now you're standing alone. You thought they were part of the promise, but now they've disappeared. Listen to me. This is not rejection. This is God's protection. Because when people walk away, it doesn't mean the plan has failed. It means the plan is shifting. God removes before He elevates, and what He does next will make sense of everything you lost. Some were limiting your growth, some were sent to delay you, and you thought losing them was a setback, but it was actually the setup for what's coming next. God doesn't take without replacing. He doesn't remove without restoring, and what's ahead is going to make you thank Him for what He took away. Some people only stayed because of what they could get. Some stayed because it was convenient. Some smiled in your face but secretly doubted you. And God saw what you couldn't. So, He allowed the separation, not to hurt you but to expose what wasn't real. Because if they were truly meant to stay, nothing could have made them leave. When people walk out, don't chase them. Let them go. Because the ones who left were never part of your destiny. The ones who are meant to stay, they're on their way. If the people in your life hadn't left, you would have stayed in the same place. But God is taking you higher. So don't fight the process, trust it. Because God's plan doesn't end with what you lost. It begins with what's coming next. What left your life is nothing compared to what's about to enter it. So stop grieving over what's gone. Lift your head, because greater is coming. God will surround you with the right people. The wrong people had to leave for the right ones to come. God is sending people who will pour into you, who will support you, who will pray for you, who will love you the way He intended. You won't have to beg them to stay. You won't have to question their intentions. They will be aligned with your destiny, and they will push you toward everything God has called you to be. So don't dwell on who left. Get ready for who's coming, because your circle is about to shift, and it will be exactly who you need for your next season. God will show you why it all had to happen. Right now, you might not understand. You might be asking, why did they leave? Why did I have to lose them? But one day, you'll look back and you'll see how God used every loss for your good. You'll see how He turned every setback into a setup. You'll see why He allowed the separation, because He wasn't punishing you, He was preparing you. And when you finally step into everything He has for you, you'll realize what you thought was the end was only the beginning. What God does next will shock you. It will exceed your expectations, because He is not done with you. You are still chosen, still anointed, still walking in your destiny, and nothing that left your life can stop what God has planned for you. So stand firm, trust Him, and get ready, because what's coming next is greater than anything you've ever lost. When people leave, God steps in. Some people were never meant to stay. You prayed for breakthrough, and suddenly people started walking away. You asked God to bring you closer to Him, and now you're standing alone. You thought they were part of the promise, but now they've disappeared. Listen to me. This is not rejection. This is God's protection. Because when people walk away, it doesn't mean the plan has failed. It means the plan is shifting. God removes before He elevates, and what He does next will make sense of everything you lost. God reveals who was really for you. When people leave, clarity comes, because not everyone around you is really for you. Some people only stayed because of what they could get. Some stayed because it was convenient. Some smiled in your face but secretly doubted you, and God saw what you couldn't. So, He allowed the separation, not to hurt you, but to expose what wasn't real. Because if they were truly meant to stay, nothing could have made them leave. When people walk out, don't chase them, let them go, because the ones who left were never part of your destiny. The ones who are meant to stay, they're on their way. Trust it, because God's plan doesn't end with what you lost. It begins with what's coming next. God will restore everything you lost and more. Job lost everything, his family, his wealth, his health. But the story didn't end there, because God is not a God of loss. He is a God of restoration. God is sending people who will pour into you, who will support you, who will pray for you, who will love you the way He intended. You won't have to beg them to stay. You won't have to question their intentions. They will be aligned with your destiny, and they will push you toward everything God has called you to be. So don't dwell on who left. Get ready for who's coming, because your circle is about to shift, and it will be exactly who you need for your next season. God will show you why it all had to happen. Right now, you might not understand. You might be asking, why did they leave? Why did I have to lose them? But one day, you'll look back and you'll see how God used every loss for your good. You'll see how He turned every setback into a setup. You'll see why He allowed the separation, because He wasn't punishing you, He was preparing you. And when you finally step into everything He has for you, you'll realize what you thought was the end was only the beginning. God will strengthen you in the waiting. Losing people hurts. Even when we know it's for the best, it still leaves a void. But don't waste this season in grief. Use it to grow. God is teaching you to depend on Him, to trust Him more than you trust people, to lean on Him when you feel weak. Because what's coming next requires a stronger version of you. So don't rush the process. Let God refine you. Let Him heal you. Because when the right people come, you'll be ready. What God does next will shock you. It will exceed your expectations. Because He is not done with you. You are still chosen, still anointed, still walking in your destiny. And nothing that left your life can stop what God has planned for you. So stand firm, trust Him, and get ready.